Two different types of external batteries. Let's find out which one's better. Dave Taylor here, and I've got phones. And because I've got phones, I'm always thinking about battery life and charging. So when both Griffin and MiPOW hit me up and said, "We got cool new batteries for you," I thought, let's have a little mini shootout. So here's what I got. I got this. This is the Griffin Reserve Power Bank, and it's a bit of a beast. It's pretty big and it's pretty heavy, but it has huge capacity. It has 15,600 milliamp hours. That is a lot of battery in here, but basically it's just all battery. Now, competing against it, standing up against it, is the much cuter MiPOW Power Cube. Now this is only 10,000 milliamp hour battery, but as we'll find out, it has some other tricks up its sleeve. And here's the thing, they're within $5 of each other in price. So I figure it is actually a pretty fair comparison. Now, let's start with the Griffin. This is the Griffin Reserve Power Bank, and its primary connectivity, there's nothing on this end, so it's all about this end. So there's USB-C, and that's also how you charge it. And then there's a single USB 3.0 port too. And then there's a button, and the button gives you the ability to see the little LEDs that show you charge status. It also comes with this, I have to say, not very impressive little tiny USB cable. I didn't find it was a very good cable, which was a surprise. Griffin tends to nail that sort of stuff. But, you know, you basically plug it into the USB, and then you plug that into a wall charger, and you charge this guy up, and it's pretty big. Or you do it the other way, and you can obviously plug in any USB device, but I plugged this cable in, and that gives me USB-C, so that gives me the ability to, for example, plug in and charge my Google Pixel 3 XL. Now, that's all well and good, but I'm convinced, I know this doesn't actually work, but I'm convinced that if I plug it in like this, that somehow it will charge itself and I'll never ever need to plug it into the wall again. Don't try this at home, it doesn't work, sadly. But I am going to have to test at some point to see if this will drain the battery, and if so, how long. I'm guessing probably months to get the battery to zero, but that's it. So you can charge two things ostensibly, because you can have something like, you know, a USB-C to USB-C to charge a device like the Pixel that does that, and then you can plug something else in like a lightning cable, and then you can charge something like this, which is the iPhone XS. So the question then becomes, how fast does it charge? But before we get there, let me tell you that it has a lot of juice. So I already said it has 15,600 milliamp hour battery, but it's up to 15 watts for a dual charge. So you can do both at the same time. For a smartphone, this represents 6.5 charges. That's a lot. 2.5 charges for a tablet, and up to 47 charges for a smartwatch if you have the right cable. In fact, with all of these, you have to have the right cable. By itself, this is basically a battery in a sleek little container. So, it does have a power indicator, and Griffin is very proud, as they should be, that it includes the very latest generation of the Qualcomm Quick Charge 3.0 protocol. And that means that for a lot of devices, including Asus, HTC, LG, and Samsung's, it actually can communicate with this device and get the maximum possible wattage so that it can charge as fast as possible. So that leads to the question, how fast does it charge? So I plugged in the Pixel and it did fantastic. It got a 42% charge in an hour. That is a decent speed charge. The iPhone XS, not quite as good. It actually clocked in at 34% charge in an hour, so not fantastic, but still, you know, you put this in your pocket, you have the cable, you have your phone, or you throw it all in your backpack or briefcase, and next time you pull it out, it's going to be a whole lot more charge. So that's pretty good. Now, both of these devices have onboard power management so that they make sure that if it's overheating or overcharging, or if there's data coming from the device saying that it's heating up or something, it'll slow things down or turn off. So they all have all that protective circuitry. My guess is it's just a little chip or part of the power management chip. So pretty much all of these devices have that now. So Griffin Reserve Power Bank. I will come back to the price, but let's talk about this. This is the MiPOW Power Cube. And as I said, it's way more cute. But what is really cool about it is it actually has G wireless charging. So that means I can put on a device like the Pixel that supports wireless charging, and it is now actually charging the phone. That is pretty sweet. But here's the thing. It charges wirelessly pretty darn slowly. That's kind of a drag, but let me get it there. So 10,000 milliamp hour battery gives you about 3.5 power or iPhone charges. So that's compared to 6.2 charges for this guy. So I'm not sure how they do their math, because this is, you know, 2/3 of the power capacity of this, but somehow it only gets half as many charges. You figure that out. I think this actually gets 4 point something, but whatever. It also is a little more flexible because it has the USB-C on the side. That's the in for charging. It even says in, so you can't use it for charging out, but it does have USB 3 on both sides. So it has 2 USB 3 and the wireless charging, so you can charge 3 devices simultaneously with this. That's pretty nice. It has a little button, and the button shows you the power status, but it is extraordinarily subtle. It took me a while to even find it because the lights are embedded deep inside the plastic. It is worth noting that this is a 2 amp charge on this side, and that's a 1 amp charge on this side. So if you're just using one of them, you want to use the 2 amp. It's going to go a little faster. And let's see, it comes with the USB-C cable, and this is actually a nicer cable. Number one, it's nice and long, which is handy. So you can put this in your pocket or your backpack or in your desk, and then you just plug it in, and you then, of course, plug it into a USB-C device, and it will start charging. So that's pretty handy. And then you get to the sort of core key feature of this, which is the wireless charging. And that didn't work so well. So let me tell you that wireless charging on the Pixel, the Pixel says charging slowly. I mean, this is like such a value judgment, but it was accurate. So it picked up a 20% charge in an hour. And interestingly, wirelessly charging the iPhone XS also gave me a 20% per hour charge. So that's about what you're going to get. Now, you're going to get a faster charge if you plug it into the side, because at that point you're getting more juice. So you can do fast wireless charging. The Pixel actually comes with a very nice Pixel stand, which does crazy fast wireless charging. It's tuned for this specific phone. But this guy, I feel like at some level, if your goal is to get as much charge as fast as you can, then the wireless charging is kind of a bit of a gimmick. It is cool, it is nice. You can put it on the table at your favorite restaurant and do this. Actually, I think I need to push the button, which not only gives you power indicator, but it also turns on the wireless charging. It's not on all the time, but now it's charging wirelessly. That's pretty cool, because if I forget or lose my cable, this guy does me no good at all. There's nothing that this is going to do that's going to help me charge if I don't have the cable or my cable breaks. This I can use with the cable, which is cool, but I really like having that alternative of having the wireless charging. So it's not fast, but it's something. And something is, as they say, better than nothing. So let's talk about price, and then I'll tell you which one actually I prefer. But before we get there, can I ask if you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel? Really appreciate that. And leave a comment. Tell me, do you have a smartphone or tablet? Do you carry around an extra battery? And if so, what style and what do you like about it? Because I just recently also reviewed a different MoFi unit that had a built-in lightning connector or built-in lightning cable. That was a cool alternative too, because there again, if you lose all your cables, it has a built-in cable. So that's nice. You can check that review out if you want. But you know, in this case, this one is definitely better and faster and more capable, but comes with a mediocre cable and comes with, you know, no ability to do anything. But hey, I'm back. So leave a comment. Tell me what kind you use. Okay, now I'll roll back to the point I was making. So this one is the Griffin Reserve Power Bank, and it's $54.99 at Amazon.com. It is heavy, but it has crazy capacity. This is a lot of juice in here. So if you're worried that you're gonna go for a weekend backpacking trip and your phone's gonna die, this will solve the problem, as long as you have the cable that you need. And again, I gotta say, Griffin, I'm sorry, I was not impressed by this cable, and I didn't feel like it worked very well. I actually ended up using a different cable for my charge speed tests. There you go. The MiPOW Power Cube is a little bit less capacity. Obviously, it's smaller. It's, significantly smaller. It's a really nice design. MiPOW makes really nice products. I really like that. Just sort of focused on batteries. And there's a lot to like about this. The wireless Qi charging isn't super fast, but whatever. It's maybe a gimmick, but it can be useful because then this device by itself can actually charge something. So that is actually a nice win. And having 2 USB instead of 1, that's another win. So I gotta say, and so comes in red and white and black, and this one's $59.99 on Amazon. So this is $5 more than this. But what that gets you is a better cable, wireless charging, and 2 USB ports. And let's just face it, it's smaller and cuter, and the little handle and stuff. Who wouldn't like something like this? This is a great little device. So this is my winner, the MiPOW Power Cube. So find the one that meets your needs, and I think you will definitely be happy that your phone doesn't die as often because you got extra battery. So that's it. This is Dave Taylor, and I'll catch you in my next video.